Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. For I'm not holding it in anymore. I'm gonna shout it out loud. I understand now what I'm here for and what this life is about. It's about love, it's about laughter, it's about comfort and smiles. It's about love, it's about kindness, it's about hearts open wide. It's about love, it's about passion, it's about taking a chance. It's about love, it's about service, it's about lending a hand, lending a hand. So swing wide the doors, the time is right. Swing wide the doors to let in the light. Bring in the dawn for humankind. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine. Swing wide the doors of this heart of mine.
Good morning. Today and every day we swing wide the doors to the presence of God, knowing that Spirit is in this place and in all places and all people. Just as this amazing sun has awakened us to a new day, the Spirit of God within awakens us to divine glory. And this glory within and around us is everywhere we look and in every situation we encounter. With our hearts centered in Spirit, we can quiet our thoughts and meditate on the wonder of God's creation and our oneness with it. So feel free to take a deep breath right now. Become comfortable and gently release any cares of the day. Your sole purpose at this moment is to experience the divine, and you begin to do so now as you relax into this sacred time and space at Unity Spiritual Center. Seeing through eyes of oneness, acknowledging our oneness, we at Unity Spiritual Center celebrate and honor people of every culture, of every creed, of every religion, of every race, of every age, and every lifestyle, knowing that there are many paths to God, many faces of God, many names for God, but only one God. And that God is expressing through all people in unique, special, and individual ways. As you look at the flame of this candle that we light every Sunday, remember that you yourself carry a divine flame within, that you yourself are an individualized expression of God. We honor the one presence and power of God with Unity's foundation statement, which you'll find on the screen, and I invite you in joining me in saying it aloud together. There is only one presence and one power, active as the universe and as my life, God the good, omnipotent. We give thanks for our spiritual community and for the beauty of our spiritual center. We give thanks that Unity Spiritual Center is a welcoming, warm, and inclusive place dedicated to studying and putting into practice empowering tools and principles for happiness, health, prosperity, and successful living. We give thanks that with our unity teachings, we can create extraordinary lives and a peaceful planet through our relationship with the loving God presence within each of us and through our relationships with one another. Our vision and the opportunity for each one of us here is that you discover the power within you to create the life of your dreams, that you have peace of mind and deep happiness, that you enjoy joyous and loving relationships with yourself, with spirit, and with others, that you spend your days doing what you love and feel called to do, and most of all, that you know that your life matters, that you make a difference, and that the world is a better place because you're here. It doesn't look like we have any visitors today, but as you know, we always invite people joining us for the first time to give me a call, to come in, ask any questions about unity, and of course that same invitation is extended to all of you. So just know that if you'd ever like to learn more or talk more about the unity principles, anything that has to do with our spiritual center, please always feel free to contact me. And my information is printed in various places, including the back of our main newsletter. So as we move now into the meditative portion of our service and prepare to raise our voices together in song, please mute your cell phone or any other electronic devices if you haven't done that already. And I will hand it over to Michael to lead us through.
Why don't we throw those lyrics up there, Andrew, so we can take a look at what we've got going on. See what's going on. You sing each line 3 times is what we're going to do. So we'll say that, woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit 3 times. Then we have our big hallelujah. And that works like this, because I sing stayed on spirit and I say hallelujah, and you go hallelujah. And I say hallelujah, and you go hallelujah. And then we go yah. How's that sound? Okay.
And I think this is a standing up one, don't you?
Standing up, we get some oxygen flowing, and we're gonna channel our best Baptist church, that we can, if we can, and make this happen. So, if anybody wants to beat on a tambourine or play something, that's actually the right thing to do today on this one. So, as we sing it along, and you go, okay, I get this, and it sounds like this. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. You guys got it. You guys rock. Okay, woke up this morning with my walking and talking. Here we go. Walking and talking with my mind stayed on spirit. I'm walking and talking with my mind stayed on spirit. I'm walking and talking with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, singing and swaying with my mind stayed on spirit. Singing and swaying with my mind stayed on spirit. Singing and swaying with my mind stayed on spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah. All right, now we're going to do vision, all right? So we're going to do woke up this morning with my mind, stayed on vision. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Woke up this morning with my mind, stayed on vision. Woke up this morning with my mind, stayed on vision. Opened this morning with my mind, stayed on vision. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Hallelujah. Keep repeating it. Hallelujah. 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 Keep going. Hallelujah. 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 One more time. Hallelujah. 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 Somebody hit a high note. Ooh. Oh, they sound pretty good, don't they? Yeah. Excellent. Thank you, Ron.
All right. Now that we've got our hearts pumping, we're going to quiet ourselves to prepare for this time of worship, prayer, and meditation. So let us open our hearts now to receive the message of today's daily word, which will be read by Brian Lance.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Today's daily word, divine order. I appreciate the divine order and clarity expressing in every part of my life. There is a satisfaction in feeling that my own ego mind is in control of the events in my life, today and for days to come. However, there's a deeper, richer satisfaction that I experience when I surrender to the loving power that causes everything in the universe to flow and express in order and harmony. In that surrender, I release my own limited efforts to organize my life. There is one power, and I am a part of it. I am an essential part of a purpose more vast than my mind can imagine. I know that my day unfolds as an expression of that purpose. I give thanks for divine order in my life. I joyously embrace and rely upon the clarity that expresses in every part of my life. And from Revelation, I am the Alpha and the Omega, says the Lord God, who is and who was and who is to come, the Almighty.
Thank you, Brian. Unity Spiritual Center is a center of prayer and healing. We have a prayer box placed in the back of the sanctuary, and you are always invited to place a prayer request in that box. And why don't we right now just hold the requests that are in that box in our hearts and know that perfect divine order is taking place for everyone represented in our prayer chest. And that divine order is taking place for all concerned. The prayer requests placed in this box are prayed on by me and our USC prayer team for 30 days. And then they're forwarded to Silent Unity at Unity's World Headquarters, where they're prayed on for an additional 30 days. The prayer request forms are green and they're on the table in the back. And you are always invited to fill one out and place it inside. But at this time, we would like to make our prayers audible. This is the time to offer your prayer needs to our spiritual family here so that we can support you and stand with you. So after we sing the music, the introduction with Michael, which is a call and response, you're invited to speak your prayer aloud, and we will answer each prayer request by singing Your Prayer is My Prayer Too.
We are connected by the heart. Where do you end? Where do I start? Whatever you feel, I feel too. You're a part of me, I'm a part of you. Your prayer is my prayer too. 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 Your prayer is my prayer too.
We give thanks for this opportunity to bless and to be blessed in spirit. We give thanks for the feelings of connection, peace, and warmth that fill our hearts and minds right now. We give thanks for the privilege of praying for others in our community, those prayers that are spoken and those prayers that are unspoken. And we give thanks for the privilege of praying for others in our nation and around the globe. We affirm that always and in all ways, divine love and divine order is everywhere present, regardless of appearances. At Unity Spiritual Center, your prayer is our prayer too. Amen.
There's a new church on the horizon, made of light, not of stone, calling now to all creation, you are not alone. Lions and lambs, saints and sinners, best of friends, enemies, woman and man, losers and winners, they're all in you and me. We are one heart, looking for answers, one soul, finding our way through the dark, one dream we share together. Yes, we are all a part of one heart. floating by the way I came. Hold out your hand, someone will take it and bring you home again. For we are one heart, looking for answers, one soul, finding our way through the dark, one dream we share together. Yes, we are all a part of one heart. Around the world tonight, all the fires are burning, tears are falling from the sky, still the world keeps turning. We are one heart, one soul, one dream we share together. We are all a part. Yes, we are one heart, looking for answers, one soul, finding our way through the dark, one dream we share together. We are all a part of one heart. Ooh, we are one. Yes, we are all a part of one heart.
Fall. So, welcome to everybody. And is anybody here because you read what the title of the talk is? It's about power in relationships. That's something that kind of gets everybody's attention, isn't it? Something that often people struggle with on many different levels. So, I'm going to start by telling an illustrative story of what this can look like. And evidently this is a true story that was told in a seminary about a guy who was a missionary. And when he was assigned to a location, he was given a car. And he was told that the car wouldn't work unless it got a running push by other people, and that he had to keep it running whenever he made a stop. So dutifully, he always got people in the morning who could help him give it a push, and he would keep it running, go for those hills as a stopping point where he could then roll down. He found many different ways in which he could work with this car that he had been given. So, because of circumstances, he needed to leave his particular post, and they got a replacement. And with a lot of pride, he was telling his replacement how to work the car. And he was telling him about how he'd gotten the kids on the in the schoolyard, up the hill to help him push it, and that you just keep it going, keep the engine on when you're making your stops, and was just really filling in the guy on how he can make this car work. And he popped open the hood, and the guy looked in and he said, I think it's just a loose wire. So he did whatever he did. I'm not an auto mechanic, but he did something with the wire, and all of a sudden, the car was fine. The car was running. No push, didn't need to be on. The guy had fixed it. And the whole idea there is that this loose connection, this loose wire, had kept the guy from taking his own power in making this car work. So it's kind of an interesting metaphor for how we let things in our lives keep us, or the stories that we tell about things, keep us from fully being in our power. And we're going to talk about that because this month, as you know, we're looking at the 12 powers throughout the year, and this month is the power of power, or as some people like to rewrite that, the faculty of power. And today we're going to be looking at power in relationships. So I just want to give you a little bit of a reminder as to what unity defines as being power. Unity says that power is the ability to master, have dominion, to control. So in that sense, it doesn't differ too much from how we normally think about power. But unity means it in a very different way, in a spiritual way. And as you'll find in the study guide for May, if you haven't seen it already, unity writer Winifred Wilkinson Hausman said this, and this is a very important thing to keep in mind when we talk about power. She said it's to be exercised not for the purpose of controlling others, but for the purpose of taking dominion over our own thoughts and feelings in order to come to a greater God awareness. It is a gift of God, and as such, it must be respected and utilized to further God's work in the world. So that's a very different way of looking at power, isn't it? And she's making it very clear that the power we're supposed to be exercising is power over our own thoughts and feelings. Well, when thinking about relationships, that's an arena where thoughts and feelings can often come up and keep us from making a connection, keep us from putting those wires together. So we are going to look at ways to do that. Because we do hear a lot about power in the context of relationships, don't we? We hear about somebody trying to exert power over, or we hear about a power struggle, or we hear about giving our power away. So power often comes into play in relationships. And we'll say things like, I can't make enough money because my boss doesn't like me. Or my relationship is falling apart because my partner won't cooperate with me in making necessary changes. Or my health is in shambles because all my responsibilities to other people keep me from being able to go to the gym. Or my teenage kids don't listen to me. Now that one maybe is a legitimate one, and I can say that as the mother of a 13-year-old. But you get the gist, that often when we think about our relationships, we think about how they hold us back, or how something in our life can't happen because of other people's influence and control. But unity teaches, no, your power is about having dominion over your thoughts and your feelings. So we're going to talk about that. Because Alice Walker, who is a famous author and activist, said, the most way people give up their power is by thinking they don't have any. So for a lot of us, we don't realize how much power we actually have. But again, unity teaches, and this is why we're looking at the 12 powers this year, unity teaches that everybody has power. We all are innately powerful. And if we look at our power from a spiritual perspective, we are called to use that power. Because again, to quote Hausman, she said, our power is a gift of God, and it must be respected and utilized to further God's work in the world. So we are called to get a grasp on this idea of power and to use it. So if we decide that we want to reclaim our power, to get a handle on our power, what we learn quickly is we can't say things like, you make me so mad, or you are making me a nervous wreck, or you drive me to drink, or whatever it is that we might want to say when we're feeling upset about something. And the converse is also true. We can't say, you make me so happy. You are the reason I exist. You are the best thing in my life. Because whether it's coming from a negative place or a positive place, when we make statements like that, we're still giving away our power, aren't we? We're still making the other person the reason that we react, or the reason that we have a particular feeling. And unity is saying, no, your power comes within. So if you decide that you want to reclaim this power, this faculty of power, then you have to start with a little bit of self-reflection. And sometimes that's painful, because sometimes it's a lot easier to blame somebody else for why something isn't happening the way we want it to, isn't it? And the funny thing about power is that when you reclaim it, then you also have to reclaim your responsibility. You also have to claim the fact that your experience of life is up to you. You can't blame it on another person. So the idea here is that power is about choosing to grow up and to become an adult. And when I was doing a little bit of research on this idea of taking back our power, I found an interesting article in Psychology Today. And this human development expert said, when you decide that it's time to reclaim your power, here's a very interesting question to ask yourself. And that is, which part of me doesn't want to grow up and realize how powerful I am? It can be a very useful question. Just to track it back. Was there a time in your life when maybe you realized or you felt that it's easier not to have to take responsibility? It's easier to stay at the effect of something or someone else, and in effect, remain a child. So, distilling ideas for how you can reclaim power in your life, I want to give you just 5 things to think about, 5 possibilities for how you can start to really take back that power and come from that spiritual place. And these are useful for any kind of relationship, whether we're talking about a friendship, a work relationship, a romantic partnership, a parent-child relationship. These 5 things are things that you can put to work in any relationship. So the first one is maybe an obvious one, but one that we don't usually do when we're feeling that our buttons are being pushed, and that is seek to understand. Just take a moment and seek to understand why that person might be saying what they're saying. There's, we've talked some in our class. We're studying the Prospering Power of Love right now on Tuesday nights. And we've talked about how so often we make assumptions about why people are behaving the way they are. We think that it has something to do with us. We think that they like us or they don't like us, when often it has nothing to do with that. So the first idea here is seek to understand. Just take a broad look at the situation and imagine if there are perhaps different scenarios that could be at play. Maybe there's something else that's going on. So again, it's this idea of choosing our thoughts and feelings. And related to that is just to do an objective analysis. So say somebody is directing their negative energy toward you. Instead of personalizing it, maybe you can break it down into components about what it is that is wanting to happen. So if a boss maybe is saying, you did this and I need to have it fixed, then instead of getting in the emotion and the drama of what the boss is saying to you, just break it down into components. Okay, well, this didn't happen, this needs to happen, how can I make it happen? So that idea of just making it as objective as possible when you're looking at situations. A third tip when you think about this idea of power and how to choose to think and feel regarding something that's happening in your life is just to assess the impact. A lot of times little things happen and they really just don't make that big of a difference to us. So say somebody cuts us off in traffic. We can, be angry. Actually, let me use a different example. A better example might be somebody who's driving really slow in traffic, and you're going to be late. You're going to be late to work because this person is blocking you and driving so slowly. So the idea here is that you sort of weigh the ultimate impact of this situation. Is this really that important? Is this really worth getting so upset, maybe endangering yourself or others by swerving out of the way? Is this a big deal? And another question you can ask yourself is, will this matter? Well, the ultimate question is will this matter 10 years from now? Generally speaking, all the things that we get upset about aren't going to make any difference in 10 years. They're not going to make any difference in 5 years. And chances are really high they're not even going to make a difference in 1 year. So ask yourself that question. Will this make a difference in 1 year? Give up the need to win. Now that's a hard one because we like to win. We like to be right. We talked about that at class too, We are human beings and we have our sets of experiences and beliefs, and we, generally speaking, think that we're right. But what if? What if we decided to give up the need to be right, not as a way of giving up our power, but as a way of taking control of a situation and actually empowering it and empowering yourself? So the phrase that we talked about in class was Louise Hay's wonderful question, would I rather be right or would I rather be happy? Would I rather be right or would I rather be happy? Now, I know a lot of us are probably thinking, well, I'm happy when I'm right and the other person knows that I'm right. But sometimes we don't get that. We don't get both. So then we have to choose. And again, this is what Unity is teaching. Choose your thoughts and feelings. Choose your responses. Would you rather be right or happy? Because generally speaking, when you fight to the end, whatever the struggle is about, even if you win, there's generally unhappy feelings. There's generally some kind of hard feeling on the side of the other person. And finally, have some kind of mantra, some kind of soothing phrase or affirmation that you can say to yourself when you're in the face of a lot of negative energy coming your way. So if your father is saying all the things you haven't done right in your life, or if your ex is saying the wonderful things, let's talk about the wonderful things that are happening in his or her life, or if your former coworker is telling you about how great work is now that you've left, then just find some way of deflecting that. Breathe, just choose to breathe, and have some kind of go-to phrase or mantra that you can return to. So this is a way of just going inside, being internal in a positive way. Don't let yourself be a victim to whatever somebody else is wanting to lay on you. There's another book that I've been looking at using as I talk about these 12 powers this year, and it's called Your 12 Powers in You. And they actually suggest doing a very Unity thing, which is creating a set of personal affirmations. When you're in the face of something like that, have a few affirmations, personal affirmations at the ready that you can bring forward. And for our guided meditation today, I'm going to suggest some of those that were in the book. So there's no question that relationships can test us, and obviously it's a big, complex subject, and there's a lot more that could be said about how to maneuver in relationships than I can do in just 20 minutes. But hopefully this has given you an idea that we don't have to give our power away. And in fact, spiritually speaking, we're not supposed to be giving our power away. Our power is all about choosing the thoughts and the feelings we're going to have regardless of what comes our way. Regardless of what comes our way. And if we can do that, if we can strengthen that ability, then no matter what negative is directed toward us, we can always turn that around to positive power. To paraphrase a scripture passage, Ephesians 1:19, how tremendous is the power available to us who believe in God. And so it is. Thank you, God. So as Valerie turns down the lights, I invite you to lean back against your seat as we go into guided meditation. Let's begin with our meditation song, Holy, Holy, Holy. We'll start by singing, We Are Holy, move into You Are Holy, and then conclude with I Am Holy before going into the meditation.
We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy, holy, holy. You are holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy, holy, holy. I am holy.
So in the safeness, the sweetness of this outer sanctuary, begin now to enter your inner sanctuary. Again, taking some slow, deep breaths and really feeling supported by that chair as you are always supported by the divine. And listen to the words I'm about to speak. It's a list of affirmations that are all about our power, our inner and innate power, inherent power that everyone has to go through life in the fullness of who they are, to encounter any situation with power, divine power. So I invite you to embrace these affirmations as if they are your very own. I am a spiritual being of power. I am a spiritual being of power. All power is given unto me in heaven and on earth. This is the truth. All power is given unto me in heaven and on earth. This is the truth. I reclaim the power I have given away. I move it back into myself where it belongs. I reclaim the power I have given away. I move it back into myself where it belongs. I have faith in God, and I believe in myself. I have faith in God, and I believe in myself. I believe in God, the divine power, and the power available to me and inside me is tremendous. I believe in God, divine power, and the power available to and inside of me is tremendous. I am a spiritual being of power. I am a spiritual being of power. So if one of these resonated deep within you, then claim it. Claim it as an affirmation that you can use whenever you might need to, or come up with your own. Whichever you choose, know that you are a spiritual being of great power. So knowing that you can return to your inner sanctuary at any time you choose, that you can rest in the power of God, this divine power that is always available to you. Begin now to return to our outer sanctuary, moving your fingers and your feet. And when you're ready, taking another deep breath and gently opening your eyes. As I hope you have just experienced, Unity offers positive, practical, progressive spiritual teachings and tools that honor the universal truth in all religions and respects each individual's right to choose a spiritual path. And here at Unity Spiritual Center, we have an inspiring vision, an exciting mission, and compelling values by which we strive to live. So I invite you to join with me in saying them aloud. Our vision is centered in God. We co-create a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. Our mission is we are a creative, joy-filled spiritual community dedicated to healing, inspiring, and transforming the lives of all people through prayer, education, and love. And our values are We are spirit-led, generous with resources, inclusive, joyously creative, and guided by integrity. And in this space, feeling inspired by our vision, mission, and values, feeling enriched by what we've experienced here today and what we will continue to experience following the service. Let us take time now to be a channel for enrichment through our generous tithes and love offerings. Practicing the principle of tithing ourselves as a spiritual community, we are pleased to tithe 10% of the offering collected today to Unity FM and to the West Central region of Unity churches. So let us take time now to bless our offerings, placing them in our hands or perhaps next to our heart as we say our offertory prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
I can feel the power of one. It has helped me before. Two can make me happier still. There could even be more. There are strangers talking alone, and four holes open the door. Five can get the impossible done. Six is hard to ignore. For when we're all together in peace and unity, we will create such joy in the world. Let's make it last forever, this love and harmony, and we will raise such joy in the world. God can work in mysterious ways. Sometimes I have to laugh. I find myself in the middle of things that seem to be blocking my path. Somehow a connection is made. This is where I should be. Everyone is part of the plan, and it's so easy to see that when we're all together in peace and unity, we will create such joy in the world. Let's make it last forever, this love and harmony. We will raise such joy in the world. We will raise such joy in the world. We will raise such joy in the world. We give thanks for the many blessings that are in our church this very moment. We open ourselves to the infinite possibilities that are ours to choose. We are filled with a mighty faith that empowers and frees us to live our divine purpose and serve our community with excellence. And so it is.
And I have a few announcements that I want to make. One of them is, the first one is a really fun one. I always love to honor people in our community who do so much for us. And as you know, if you've picked up the main newsletter or any newsletter, every month there is somebody who deserves our Shining Star Award. This person has received quite a number of Shining Star Awards. We've given him hats. We've given him all kinds of things, anything we can think of to honor him. And since he helps us with our tech, he's kind of our unofficial IT person. He's just recently spent a lot of time moving the computer equipment from the downstairs office into the bookstore, because as you may have noticed, we are making the back office into a healing and meditation room that we can rent out. We're going to have a combination office and bookstore, so things are still in a bit of disarray, but he spent a lot of hours moving the tech equipment, not to mention installing our new downstairs toilet. So, Ron Willis, because you've already had so many shining stars, I'm giving you a mouse pad to go in with the tech theme that has the prayer of protection on it. And we sure thank you for everything. I also want to mention that some fun events are coming up. This Saturday, we're going to be doing our creative salon. We will be focusing on power. The art teacher who's going to be with us this Saturday is Lauren Catalina, who brings a lot of really interesting skills and experience to the plate, to her plate, our plate. And we've been charging $75 for basically a half day, a little bit more than a half day workshop. And I want to let people know that if they would like to attend and the cost has kept them from attending, that we do have scholarships available. If you would like to attend and can help us out, just give me a call and I'd love to add you to the list, because we don't want the cost to keep anybody away. They really are very nurturing and inspiring experiences that we're offering here once a month. So please do call me if you'd like to attend that and help out. We also are having a barbecue coming up. This is our world famous, or at least USC famous barbecue. John and Tony, who's in the back, he is our this is his ministry. He does this every year. We're so grateful to him for wanting to feed us in such a delicious way. So he will be grilling up the meats with anybody else he can wrangle to help him out. And we're asking for side dishes. If you can bring a side dish, there is a sign-up sheet in the back of the sanctuary. Drinks, chips, desserts, anything that would add to the barbecue experience, please do sign up and feel free to bring your friends to this. It's a lot of fun. It'll be next Sunday following the service. We also are co-sponsoring an event with Amy Gallant. I don't know if people remember Amy, but she is a very recognized metalsmith and artist. She's been to USC 2 or 3 times to present to us. She's the one who made the mezuzahs that are on our front door and the doors to our sanctuary. And we are co-sponsoring an event that she is doing and offering to the whole community. It's called, I think, Art and Prayer for Oneness, or something like that, Marcy? Yeah. Thank you so much. Art for Prayer and Peace, A Bridge to Oneness. She is going to be doing this. It's a 2-day event that is going to be June 3rd, a Saturday, and June 4th, a Sunday. Different things are happening, but it's an interfaith event where people from different spiritual traditions will be talking. Amy's going to show her amazing installation. As I said, we are underwriting part of the cost to support her in this effort. And if you are one of the first 50 people to register, you get a free gift from Amy. So please do pick up a flyer in the back and plan on supporting that June 3rd and 4th. And I believe that's it for now. So we will bring in our kids.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Hello everyone. Today we did some May prayers and we got little magnets and then we decorated a little message that the kids will be able to like put on the fridge or something. So I put may peace, light and happiness surround all earthlings. Thank you for everything. Here.
I pray for my family to stay healthy.
Thank you, God, for everything you gave me.
Oh, I pray for safe, protected, and wise. That I am.
Yeah, yes, yes. I think you are.
Thank you.
That is activity for today, yeah. And let's bless our children. We love you.
We bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the presence of God in you, empowering you to do great things. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
We know that we are meant to use our power to continue God's work in the world. So whatever we see as being our divine assignment, we can do it because
The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is.